These days, it's all about appraisals. In this hot real estate market, appraisals are all the buzz. That's because many people are actually paying above the listing price and they're waiving their appraisal contingency. So really being able to maximize the value on that appraisal is key to limiting funds to close. Here's what you need to know. The appraisal is going to have a big effect on the financing, and depending on where the appraisal comes in at, it may affect the overall financing strategy. So today I'm giving real estate agents tips on how to maximize the appraisal. And if you happen to be a buyer watching this, these are things you want to know as well. But before we get started, do me a favor, subscribe to this channel. I have a true passion for home loan education and I love helping people. So help me, help you, help this community. Okay, so let's get started. So coaching your sellers on preparing the home for the appraisal process is really key, and that's kind of where we start. So cleaning the house, organizing the house, making sure that the dishes are out of the sink, there's no laundry on the floor, get that house ready, because appraisers are people. So they feel things, they see things. It really will just be kind of like a subconscious difference of how the house is perceived. So in this very hot real estate market, it is so important to really give the appraiser any information that either the listing agent or the selling agent knows about the property. So most of the time, this information is going to come from the seller and the listing agent, but we are starting to see a lot of the appraisal contingency waivers come through. So sellers may be less inclined to actually put together the information, but I would just, from the lending perspective, really encourage all parties to work together to get this information to the appraisers, because it's vital with regard to the actual end appraised value, and especially important for a buyer if they have waived that appraisal contingency and they're using financing. So here's the packet. Here's kind of just a run through of what is helpful to an appraiser. One, making sure that you have the purchase contract with the all counter offers and the most recent addendum, if there is one, on top, because we want to be sure that the appraiser knows what the final price is. And we submit it to the appraiser, but it's never going to hurt to have that in the appraisal package as well, just so we're all on the same page, because frankly, believe it or not, sometimes we don't get all counters or addendums. So we want that checks and balances so the appraiser does know the final purchase price. Secondly, if there is a listing brochure available, awesome, perfect, put that in the appraisal packet. If there's been any upgrades or renovations, improvements, do a list of what those are and when they were done and the estimated cost of those improvements. That will also be very, very helpful. Square footage. If there was an appraisal done, or maybe a measurement of the home prior, or if there's a discrepancy between what you believe the square footage is and what the county assessor says, go ahead and address it. Be able to provide that information to the appraiser, because they're going to measure the property. And as we all know, there are many times where the county assessor has one set of square footage or plans, and in reality, the house is measuring at a different square footage. And then area information. This is key because this market is moving so fast. So if you know that there is a comp and maybe it's pending and it's set to close prior to the appraisal inspection or the appraisal being completed, it's okay. Communicate with us, communicate with the appraiser. Sometimes just waiting an extra day or two to allow that pending comp to close, then it can be evaluated into the appraisal for the buyer. Guys, this is a game changer. I recently just had this happen where the selling agent asked us to hold the appraisal ordering until after this pending sale, which was going to help the appraised value. He was on point. It's exactly what happened. The house ended up appraising a little bit less than the purchase price, but guess what? It would have been a lot less without that pending sale. So communicate with us, communicate with the appraiser. We'll do everything we can to kind of coordinate the timing of the appraisal with any pending comps out there that would help the appraisal process. And then lastly, meet the appraiser. I know that sometimes the perception is that appraisers don't want to meet the agents. Listing agents, if you are there meeting the appraiser and you're putting together this package, it is valuable information. You all know that area. You know how you set value. You know if you've pushed value. You know if there's comps. You know if there's pendings. and selling agents, if the listing agent isn't available to meet the appraiser and you have this information, meet the appraiser at the property. It really does make a difference. Let's face it, in this market, we are seeing appraisals come in a little bit lower than purchase price in some cases. The demand is up and things are appreciating quickly. If your appraisal comes in low, be sure to watch my video on a financing strategy when the appraisal comes in below the purchase price. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out or leave us a comment below. If you found value in today's video, please like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.